Hey there, welcome to NZ Money Karma, helping you find freedom from the daily grind through simple living, budgeting and adventure. It's great to be back again. The day is a cracker where I am today. The sun is shining, which gives me heaps of motivation and energy to get going. I thought today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm up early, the bread's in the oven. I'm going to be soon heading out to pick up a few bits and bobs from the supermarket. And I thought this week I would show you what is it I'm doing with my money. You know that we live on a really small budget, and with that I spend generally $50 a week at the supermarket or binning, plus I put another $20 away towards bulk food purchases through an organic food co-op. So I'm going to show you this week what I'm getting at the supermarket, how far does my $50 go, and what I'm adding in from my bulk food purchases that are sitting in the cupboards, and how we manage to feed our family of four for $70 a week. So let's have a quick count up. We'll do the pink folder first, and then I'm going to scoot. So I've got 50, 100, 150, 70, 90, 210, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270. So this week I actually have $30 more than usual, and that's because we had a weekend away and I had saved some money for that, and I had $30 left over from it. So I've just popped that in there, and that's just going to be absorbed with the normal cash stuffing. So let's crack on. So Kai, I've got $40 in there still from the bulk food fund. So I have to be really disciplined not to jump into that, but if I do use that at the supermarket, what that then means is that I'm short for when the bulk food order comes in. So that's coming up. I'm going to take my 20 for bulk food plus my 50 for general. So now I've got 60 for bulk food. I'm going to be purchasing a bulk amount of chickpeas, probably some dried fruit, and maybe tahini, and that'll be my $60, I'd say. I shall report back later on that. So I'm going to get 20. I've got nothing. I bought little extra things for the wedding that I went to. My daughter wanted to paint her nails, so we bought some nail polish and painted both of our nails, that kind of thing. We were really lucky. My niece is a hairdresser and she did our hair really beautifully for the wedding. I gave her a koha, but she really didn't want much money, so it was a really lovely gift for her to do that for us. Fun money is not getting anything. That's still got 50. Kids, kids, what am I giving kids? I have already paid for, I've paid back. I owed $15 for an activity that I went to last term with the kids and forgot to pay for. So I've been in and I've sorted that out. Plus they've had another thing that they did. So that's why there's only $5 left in there. For the kids, I'm going to give them 40. See, do it this way. So 20, 30, 40 plus the other 5, so that's 45. Miscellaneous, I need to give that 5 and I don't have any 5s left. Okay, let's do that again. I can get rid of my note reminding me that I owed $15. Okay, miscellaneous. You're getting 5. My husband, he's getting 20. And pocket money, pocket money. So we give our kids, if you've watched earlier videos, you'll know what we do. We ask our kids that they invest half of anything they ever get or make and have the other half to allocate how they wish. For pocket money, we essentially give them $10 a week, but half of that goes into an investment. the other half comes to them for them to allocate into their separate envelopes. The money we give them, though, is not tied to jobs. So it's not an allowance for like, oh, you've got to do the vacuuming and put out the rubbish bins, what have you. If you do that, then we pay you. If you don't do that, we don't pay you. The allowance we give is just for being a positive family member, just sharing what we have. We want to create a sense of generosity in our family, even though we have a small amount of money to work with. The money we do share with them is enough for now. When they need more, then they obviously get part-time jobs, like my son has done, and my daughter will follow at some point. But being a positive family member, we kind of came up with some ideas. What does this mean for us as a family? And unfortunately, one of my children has not been living by our values this week. And as a result, only one of the kids is getting their $5. So that's just a natural consequence for us. We ask them each week, have you been living by our values? Have you, are you being a positive family member? And if the answer is no, then this doesn't get stuck. So sometimes hard to do, feels mean, but I think in the long run it'll be positive. So that's it for me. I've got $100 left over. I'm going to come back and stuff that once I've been out to get the food and showing you that. So I'm off now to go and do that, and I'll see you guys back soon. So I'm back. I've been for a bike ride to Pack and Save, come back, popped the stuff at home, and then I've whizzed out with the kids and the dog for a walk to the bin in and got a few bits and bobs there. And now I'm just going to go through with you. I'll let you know what we're going to be eating for our meals and how much it'll cost at the end of the day. So I'm going to start off with Pack and Save. So I shop at Pack and Save. Sometimes I go to Countdown, but not very often. They do have quite a good organics range, like a macro organics range, which is quite affordable. So sometimes I do go there for specific things, but I don't generally go there just for a random shop. So this is Pack and Save. Let's have a look and see what I spent. Okay, so this is Pack and Save. I spent $38.92 from my $50 that I had. And I'm going to show you what I got. It's got a really good sized cauliflower. That will do at least for 2 meals. So we'll be having a curry come Monday night, so that will go into the curry, half of that, and then tonight we're having pies and mash, and that will be part of that as well. I'll maybe just cook that with some curry spices and a bit of oil and do that as a side dish. A few carrots, a kg of carrots for only 5 carrots. It's quite crazy. That was this year was $3.99 on sale. So if you're watching this from somewhere outside of New Zealand, this will give you a good idea about the cost of things in New Zealand. So $3.99 for a cauliflower. I think during winter we can expect that these will go up around $9. So hopefully you've planted some in your garden. I forgot to plant mine. I did a double broccoli plant instead by accident. But never mind, we shall dine out on broccoli. So I've got more carrots in the fridge, but carrots, they go as a side dish. They go as grated. If we're having burrito bowls on Tuesday, so they'll go in as part of that grated carrot. I will cook a carrot, and when I make hummus, I'll add mashed carrot, so it's like a carrot hummus. Sometimes I do kumara. I haven't grown any this year, and it was $13 a kg at Pack and Save for kumara, so that was a no-go for me. I got some bananas. We haven't had any bananas at home since we came back from Thailand and Cambodia. When we were away, we would have eaten several bananas a day, the beautiful little sweet ones that come with, they kind of have seeds inside them. But I thought this would be nice if we want to make a smoothie or something like that. Or I did buy maple syrup through the food co-op that I'm part of. So I thought maybe with our pancakes in the weekend we could have banana maple syrup and pancakes. They were $2.79 for 6 little ones. couple of cans of chili beans, $4.18 for 2 cans of chili beans. I have dried beans, and I do have a spice mix that I make myself for the chiliness, but these are definitely a favourite of our family, and I had the money, so I thought I will. That will go with lentils, tinned tomatoes, which I already have, lentils, which I already have, some vegetables, and that'll become a burrito bowl this week. So sometimes we'll have nachos or wraps. This week I'm just going to do a burrito bowl. Easy. Some tinned pineapple. There's only $1.39 for that. I don't actually have a reason to get that. It's going just into the store cupboard, and it's nice for muffins in winter, nice on in baking, nice on pancakes. We'll definitely use it, but not this week. Butter. So New Zealand is a great dairy producer. If you're not from New Zealand, if you just want to take a moment and try and have a guess about how much we pay for 500 grams of butter. This is the cheapest butter, and it is $5.69. So what I normally do actually is cut it in half and leave one half in the fridge for if I'm baking and need it, and the other half just in the pantry for people to use on their toast. I find if I put this right into the pantry, this will all be used. If I put half of it, only half of it will be used, but we will still put butter on every piece of toast or whatever they need. It's just, I don't know, if it's there, it's gone. If it's only half, people are more careful. So that's what I do. We mostly eat a vegan diet, not exclusively, but I don't eat meat. This is the one thing that we generally always have that's non-vegan. So we do buy some meat because the kids like to have that once a week. But this I also eat. And that's because when we talked about our values, we really kind of went, what's better? Is it better to have margarine that comes in a plastic container that has lots of additives and flies to New Zealand, is filled with palm oil, which destroys habitat, you know, that kind of stuff? Or should we take butter, which comes from down the road, that does also have some negative implications, but when we weighed them up, we thought this had less. So that's why we've done that. Some cheese. Again, I generally don't eat it, but other members of the family do, so I'm always happy to buy. You know, it's all about compromise, isn't it? It can't just be the only things that I like. It has to be what everyone likes. So this I will use when I make a risotto for the family. It will be a camembert and pea risotto with red onion. So I already have the red onion, I already have the peas. That'll be the cheese that we add. And I already have the arborio rice from a larger food co-op order I've made. A couple of sets of buns. I bake bread every day, but we are having burgers this week, and the kids asked, could we have buns? As in buns that I hadn't made for the burgers. So I said yes. So that's them. They were $1.50 down from $4. So they're on sale. There. That's pretty good for 12 of them. And I got these as well. Turkish rolls. These are normally $5, but they were down to $1.50. And it will make a really yummy lunch today for the kids. And last but not least, so like I said, I'm not a meat eater. The kids do like to eat some meat, and I try and provide them with a meaty something once a week. So I got these today. They were all on sale. I don't love them. I don't feel great about them. They're wrapped in plastic. You know, goodness knows how the animals were treated. But given their own free will, the rest of my family would buy this, so I buy it for them because I'm the person that's going. It's not an every week thing. I will put this actually in the freezer. So these three here will go in the freezer for another day. So that might be 2 pizzas and maybe a pasta, something like that. And this one here, they will go and they want to eat that with the buns that I got today. So that's that. Okay, so that was my supermarket shop. So all that cost $38.92. Then I went off to the bin and came in at $10.38. And with that, let's see what I got. This is a shop I find a lot more fun than going to the supermarket. I got kind of the equivalent of a cupful of chickpeas. So they will go for making hummus. Oops, that's an empty one, nothing there. A little bit of peanut butter. I use that mostly just for baking. Kids sometimes put it on their toast, but you know, not often. Mostly it's for baking, or I like to use dates and freeze them and put peanut butter with a little bit of coconut oil on the inside, and then they kind of are quite nice and crunchy. They're like to me, they're kind of the alternative to having a chocolate, is what they sort of taste like. So let's see, what did so chickpeas, that cost $1.08, and the peanut butter cost $1.61. I got some organic golden linseed. That cost $2.52. So I put that in the bread each day. I have other seeds, I have sunflower seeds already, but it's nice to have a bit of variety. I've got some stock, a bit of stock that came to $1.05. I've got tahini here for making hummus. See my tahini. So that's organic tahini. That came to $1.29. I needed some ground cumin. This came to 77 cents, and that's because we will be having a curry this week, and I was out of that. And a little bit of nutmeg. That's just for baking. Often I like to make, I wouldn't call them hot cross buns, but kind of buns that have raisins in them, and also nutmeg and cinnamon. So we were out of that, so I've chopped that up. It's only a little bit, but you only need a teaspoon, so that's kind of 4 weeks worth of buns in that tiny amount. And that came to 42 cents. Then when I went to pay, I realised that I still had a bit of money left over. And so I went and bought a few lollies. And my lollies, what did they come to? They came to $1.64. So you might be thinking, oh my goodness, that doesn't look like much. I'm just going to unpack while I chat. That doesn't look like much. How do you, create with that? What is it that you're making? So please don't forget that I also put $20 away each week for bulk food purchases. And that bulk food can be raw ingredients, like buying 10 kgs worth of chickpeas, which is what I will be doing this week. Or it can be sometimes buying bulk baking ingredients. So instead of paying, top dollar for a small amount of chocolate chips, I might buy a really large commercial bag of chocolate chips, that kind of thing. So that really does help. I'm not saying you could just live on what I've bought today, but when you have a system and you're stocking up regularly and you're kind of thinking ahead, like thinking a month ahead, what is it I need? What am I going to need? Just come to me. I know what's not right. I forgot to say, I also bought toilet paper. Toilet paper is, oh my goodness, that's about $7.50 for 6 large rolls of toilet paper. So if you're not into family paper, now might be the time to start exploring that option, because crikey, that's expensive, isn't it? So all up, for my toilet paper and all my food, I spent $49.30, which is pretty good, I reckon. As well as what I'm getting from the supermarket and from my bulk food stores, I also have a good garden. I think you guys know that, because I've tried to share a little bit with what I've got. So I'm just going to show you now. Here's an example. This is what I've picked out for today. Don't know if you can see that. This is an example of what we'll use for today's meal. So we'll make some chips or mash to go with pies. I've already got pies in the freezer. There's a bit of fruit. We've already eaten, I don't know, it feels like about 100 kiwi fruits already today. Some seasoning, some flavour for the potatoes. Bit of onion, I've got carrots and maybe a little bit of pumpkin. I don't know. We'll just wait and see. So every day I'm able to harvest a similar amount from our garden and trees. Yeah. So that's that. I'm going to pop those away and jump back in here because I did have a little tiny bit of change. So I've got 70 cents left over from my 50. Everyone, what I was intending to cook this week. Let's have a look. So we've got curry, rice and naan, burrito bowls, risotto, pies, mash and veg, burgers, fritters and rice, and soup with crusty bread. So that's our meals for the next 7 days. On top of that, I will make some milk, I'll make some crackers, some biscuits, mayonnaise, hummus, and we already have homemade jam in the cupboard. So, you know, if I make some scones, for example, we have nice jam to put on it, that kind of thing. So we're not deprived. We're certainly not particularly thin. We eat well and we live quite well on a really quite a tight budget. So I hope that might provide you with some ideas. If not, you know, if you've got something to add, that would be cool to hear from you. So I'm going to pop this away. I've got 100 left to stuff and it's only in 50. So if you just give me a moment, I'm going to swap it out and make some change. Voila, here we go. So I've got 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. Okay, let's do it. So starting off with giving. It was actually really fun. I'm not sure if you saw it. I do a newsletter on Substack, which you can see the link to in my YouTube banner. And there was an article on Stuff that I kind of repinned about amazing hero rats. If you want to have a look at that, that's the rats that we sponsor in Cambodia. So they find landmines. So this giving money, part of that, will go to our sponsored rat called Ronan in Cambodia who clears landmines. So pretty amazing. I'm going to give that $5 today. So I'll just book in the 10. So we're at 60 for that. Animals, I'm looking to give 15 today. So I've got 110. I want to give 15, so that's going to make 125. Great, so I'm almost up to that 150 mark again, which is kind of what I feel is a safe level of insurance for my pets. Medical dental. I have a dental hygienist appointment coming up and I don't want to have nothing left in there once I've paid for it. So what have I got? 50, 100, 150, 60, 70, 80, 85. And I'm going to put in 20. So 185, I'm going to put in 20, so that will give me 205. House, I'm going to pop in 20 here. We have most of our painting things sorted. We were just talking last night, my husband and I, about the kind of planting we want to add. So we've got a few gaps in our garden that we want to fill in, so that's going to require a little bit of money. So this week I'm going to put 20 in here as well. So I've got 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, plus another 20, so that's going to give me 105. Braces. As you know, if you've watched other videos, I'm doing some extra work to top this up as well. So our online account is sitting at $3,500 for the braces. We think they're going to cost about $8,000, but I don't know for sure. So once I get $5,000 together, then I'll make the appointment for my daughter and we'll go along and find out what it's actually going to be. 50, 100, 10, 20, 30, 45, 145, and into braces I'm going to put 20. So it gives me 165. Tick. Just going to pop in 5 today. This will just very slowly, very, very slowly build up over time. So I've got 20, 40, 50, 5. I'm going to put in another 5, so now I've got 60. Date night. Date night's got 55. We're going to put in another 5. So that makes it 60. Bikes. So you'll know my daughter's bike got stolen. That meant our family of 4, our car-free family of 4, had only 3 bikes. So we have been this week to find another bike, and we've done a bit of a rejig. And so my son actually got a new bike because he's bigger, and his bike went to his sister, and I had the old bike of my daughter's because I'm the shortest in the family. So that's all worked out okay, but gosh, it's gutting, isn't it? So for us, we bought a second-hand bike. His previous bike was $1,000. We bought a second-hand bike this time from Cash Converters, and that cost $300. And we have to buy a new lock and helmet also. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. So probably about $400 all up it'll cost us to replace that. Makes me so mad. One thing though, when we were looking at Cash Converters, we thought we saw our stolen bike. So we went through this big process with Cash Converters to try and find out what the serial number was and what have you. And yeah, it wasn't, unfortunately. Otherwise we would have solved our problems pretty easily. So if you have a bike, please write down the serial number. It's under the frame by the pedals. Write that down because that's really the only way you can prove that the bike is yours, by knowing the serial number and having proof of purchase. And not all bike shops keep that information. So yeah, keep it for yourself. So bikes, the money that we spent for that came out of our emergency fund, like an unforeseen event, we would consider that. So we will have to pay that back as quickly as we can, but that doesn't come out of this cash stuffing money. That's something separate from our general funds. So this week for bikes, I've got 100, 120, 25. For bikes, I'm just giving 5, so now I've got 130. Road trip. So I've got 105. I don't think I'm going to give that any love this week because I have just been away on a little mini road trip. It was great, caught up with family, caught up with friends, did a really nice walk along the river of the town that we were visiting. Gifts, I'm going to give 5. So 15. I would aim to have 100 in this. That's what I'd be building up to. We don't have any family birthdays until the end of July. So I feel like we're okay with that and just slowly build it up again. And finally, my last challenge. So I added, what have I got in there at the moment? 15, 16, $1 or $2? $17, I think. Let's see if I've got enough here to make up another $1 to pop in there. 20, 50. Oh, it's looking promising, isn't it? There's $1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slow and steady wins the race, people. That's what I say. So that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please let me know. It'll be great to hear your thoughts. I hope you'll have a wonderful week, a prosperous week, an adventurous week, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.